The night the power went out, the storm didn't knock first, it kicked the door in. The wind howled like something alive, rattling the old windows of the small mountain cabin, and when the lights flickered once, twice, then died completely, Daniel Harper felt his chest tighten in a way it hadn't in years. He stood in the middle of the living room, holding a flashlight that refused to turn on, listening to his daughter's soft breathing from the bedroom down the hall. Then he heard her voice. "Daniel." It came from the couch, barely louder than the storm. Shaky, cold, not afraid. Something worse. The woman wrapped in his spare coat, the woman who owned half the city he worked in, swallowed hard and whispered. Can I slip under your blanket?" Daniel froze. 3 hours earlier, none of this should have been possible. Daniel Harper's life ran on schedules and quiet routines. Wake at 5, make oatmeal for Lily, walk her to the bus stop, drive to work, come home, read bedtime stories, fix what he could, endure what he couldn't. He had not planned for Evelyn Cross. He'd met her earlier that day on a mountain road slick with rain and bad luck. Her luxury SUV had slid into a ditch, hazards blinking uselessly in the fog. Daniel had been driving home from a job site, toolbox rattling in the back, when he saw her standing there, soaked, furious, and utterly out of place in heels and a tailored coat. She didn't recognize him. Why would she? To her, he was just another man with mud on his boots and exhaustion in his eyes. To him, she was just another stranded driver, until she spoke. "I don't need help," she said sharply, phone pressed to her ear. "I just need signal." Daniel looked at the sky, then at the road. "Storm's getting worse. Signal won't come back tonight." She glared at him. "I have a meeting in the morning. Do you have any idea who I am?" He shrugged. "Someone cold." That was the first crack in her armor. 20 minutes later, after her phone died and the rain turned into sleet, she sat in his truck, arms crossed, teeth chattering, refusing to look at him. When the road fully washed out, the detour signs useless, Daniel made the only choice he could. "My cabin's about 10 minutes that way," he said. "It's not much, but it's warm." She hesitated. Every instinct screamed not to trust him. Every survival instinct screamed louder. "Fine," she said, "but just until the storm passes." Now the storm had passed nothing. It had only deepened. The cabin was small. 2 rooms, creaky floors, and a fireplace that Daniel hadn't used since last winter. Lily had been asleep by the time they arrived, curled under her dinosaur blanket, unaware that a stranger with perfectly manicured hands and tired eyes had stepped into their world. Evelyn Cross, CEO of Cross Dynamics, billionaire, ice-cold boardroom legend, sat stiffly on the couch while Daniel tried to light the fire. He noticed things about her despite himself. The way her shoulders slumped when she thought no one was looking. The faint tremor in her hands. The way she stared at Lily's bedroom door longer than necessary. "She's your daughter?" Evelyn asked quietly. "Yeah, Lily, 7. Evelyn nodded, something unreadable crossing her face. "She's lucky." Daniel didn't answer. Luck was a complicated word. When the power died, the temperature dropped fast. The fire refused to catch. Daniel rummaged for blankets, cursing under his breath. "I'm fine," Evelyn insisted, though her lips were turning pale. "You don't need to." She stopped mid-sentence when a violent shiver tore through her. Daniel handed her the thick blanket he and Lily shared during winter movie nights. The only truly warm one he owned. She wrapped it around herself, sitting stiffly, trying to maintain dignity as her teeth chattered. Minutes passed. The storm roared. The cabin creaked. That's when she looked at him, eyes dark and vulnerable, pride stripped away by cold and exhaustion. "Daniel," she said, voice barely steady. "Can I slip under your blanket?" It took him a moment to realize what she meant. "You mean, with me?" She nodded, cheeks flushed, not from warmth. "I don't want to be inappropriate," she said quickly. I can't stop shaking." Daniel's mind screamed warnings. Boundaries. Decency. Appearances. His daughter sleeping 10 feet away. The fact that this woman existed in a world so far from his own, it felt unreal. But he also saw something else. A woman who hadn't asked for help in a very long time. "Okay," he said finally. "But just to get warm." She slid closer, careful, almost tentative. When the blanket settled over both of them, She stiffened, then slowly exhaled. Her hands were ice. Daniel shifted, giving her space, staring straight ahead like his life depended on it. "I'm sorry," she murmured. "I didn't plan for this." "No one ever does," he replied. Minutes passed. Her shivering eased. Her breathing slowed. Then she spoke again, softer. "You don't know who I am, do you?" "I know your name," he said. "That's enough." She swallowed. "People usually look at me like I'm something untouchable." Daniel glanced at her then. Really looked. Right now, she looked human. "Tonight," he said, "you're just cold." That broke something in her. She laughed quietly, then pressed her face into the blanket to hide tears she hadn't meant to shed. "I don't remember the last time someone talked to me like that," she admitted. Without wanting something, Daniel thought of his late wife. Of hospital bills. Of promises he hadn't been able to keep. "Wanting something doesn't make you bad," he said. "It just makes you human." Silence settled between them, heavy but not uncomfortable. Later, when the fire finally caught and the cabin warmed, Evelyn didn't pull away right away. She stayed there, listening to the wind die down, to Lily's soft snores through the wall. "Daniel," she said after a while. "Why are you here, really?" He hesitated, then answered. "My wife died 3 years ago," he said simply. "Cancer." After that, the city felt too loud. Too expensive. Too full of reminders. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "So I came here. Took construction jobs where I could. Gave Lily a place where the world feels slower." Evelyn nodded, eyes glistening. "I built my world to never feel anything at all." He looked at her. "Does it work?" She shook her head. The storm ended sometime before dawn. When the sun crept through the window, Evelyn woke first. She lay there, wrapped in warmth that wasn't just physical, staring at the man beside her who had given her safety without expectation. She slipped out from under the blanket carefully, as if afraid to break the moment. By morning, the roads were still bad but passable. Her driver arrived by noon, panic etched into his face when he saw the cabin. "Ms. Cross, we've been looking everywhere." She raised a hand. "I'm fine." Before leaving, she turned to Daniel. "Thank you," she said. "For last night. For everything." He nodded. "Take care." She hesitated. "You too." He didn't expect to see her again. He was wrong. 2 weeks later, a black car pulled up outside Lily's school. Daniel stiffened when he saw Evelyn step out, coat immaculate, posture restored, but her eyes softened when she saw him. "I've been thinking," she said. "About what you said. About being human." He crossed his arms. And I realized something," she said. "I don't want to be untouchable anymore." She looked at Lily, laughing on